Welcome back, one and all. This is CCB Fozzie, joined once again by Elise Randolph, and this is Test Alliance Please Ignore versus Tactical Narcotics team on day 3 of the 12th Alliance tournament. And you see some gorgeous Stratios cruisers on your screen there. TNT has brought a Stratios team that looked really cool. Armageddon, Eos, Guardian for reps, triple Stratios, triple Vengeance, triple Tristan. A lot of triples on that team. Meanwhile, why don't you tell us a little bit about the test team, Elise?
The test team are taking a more traditional, like what we saw from last week. They have a triple Eos, triple Vexor team supported with a few Molluses, Heretics to kill tackle, and just this one little Enyo to do all their tackling needs. Mm-hmm. They're very actually similar teams, even though they look different. They're quite similar.
Yep, both relying on drones.
And the Stratios. Yep.
And the match has now begun. Test came in at 50, while TNT brought most of their guys in at 0 on the beacon. And we'll see how they approach. We got Geckos dropped right away, and Valkyries and Warriors by the TNT team. And teams, basically the same coming from Test.
Yeah, the drones are just meeting in the middle right now. They both drop drones. They're throwing them at one another. It looks like TNT is going for the Test Onerios of Dante. And, well, that's where the drones are headed at least. Yep. Meanwhile, Test is just trying to chew through this Geddon, and it looks like they're having a pretty good time at it.
Yeah, they're knocking him into armor pretty quickly. He is taking some big chunks out. Meanwhile, the drones have caught up with Dante's and Eros, but the Heretics for Test are orbiting him and killing drones, and they're killing them quite effectively.
We've got a smart bomb alert here. This TNT Geddon, followed by Oxygen, is smart bombing, and just 2 waves of drones just died. The Geckos, of course, are still there. And but that's all that's left around this this TNT Geddon. He is going to be pulling back reps now. And look, both these teams have a lot of composure. They're actually killing drones. But this ASB Onerios isn't going to tank enough, I think, on the test team. He's leaking into armor. These drones aren't dying nearly fast enough, no matter how hard these heretics are trying.
Yeah, his entire team is currently surrounding him and trying to all basically focus on the drones. They're basically approaching the Oneros at 0, but now he has a bunch of Stratioses with their newts right on top of him, and that's going to be a little bit too much, I think. His hardeners will be turning off.
The ASB cycle, he's on reload now, I believe. So this board Oneros is going down. This Geddon, however, on TNT is still going down, even though there aren't that many drones on him. These Geckos take forever to die to the smart bombs. But, I mean, maybe he's bait tanking a little bit. Who knows?
I don't know. It's always risky to bait tank with a ship that's this crucial and has worth this many points. There goes the Oneros.
Meanwhile, Test did just a sneaky maneuver, swapped over to this Guardian. He was damped down. He had to come right next to the Guardian to rep him. Now all the drones are on the TNT Guardian, and he's about to die.
Yep, yeah, he is dropping very, very quickly. He's got armor maintenance bots that were on the Geddon over to him, but yeah, too little, too late.
Wow, that's a huge swing for a Test right here. TNT were winning when they won the Logi trade. Test just made a shrewd maneuver, said, okay, let's just kill this Logi and we'll focus on the Geddon later.
Meanwhile, let's see where those Test Geckos go. They're probably going to go back onto the Geddon. Nope, they're going to be coming back maybe to one of the Stratios.
Some of the Stratioses from TNT are actually all up in Test Grill. Probably not where they want to be in hindsight, but they had to get newts off and tackle on that Onerios.
And that first Eos is going to go down. The Stratios of Shimzu is dropping, but the Oneros of Samatra is dropping faster, and there he goes. So that's a big kill for TNT. That's a lot of DPS off the field.
Yeah, that is a huge swing around.
And potential links, too. And there goes the Stratios trade. So that being said, Eos worth significantly more than Stratios, both in drone damage and in the links.
Yep. Though this Geddon's still doing okay for TNT. He's all up in everyone's business as well. Like, you'd think, hey, I'm in half armor. I've got no reps coming in. Maybe I should kind of run away a little bit. But nope.
No, he's
full-on brave.
Yeah, at this point, there aren't any drones on him, so although he's in half armor, he's actually not dropping. And we're seeing another trade going to go back and forth. Faith in the Eos is dropping at about the same speed as Jagger Jack Jones in the Stratios, and that's going to be another bad trade for Test. Losing these Eoses is going to hurt them a lot.
Yep, and it looks like the Eos is actually going to die before the Stratios even goes down, so that's a super good trade for TNT, who are showing a lot of good quality signs you would expect from a really powerful team. But I mean, last week we saw this TNT team winning like the clowniest game I've ever seen in my life, and now they're just full composure owning.
It's impressive. Yeah, like you said, last weekend they basically got lucky, and no one was really expecting them to win that match. But here they've put together a pretty solid team, using smart bombs effectively, which is something that a lot of teams haven't been doing, but they really should be considering this drone meta. And there you go, as another Enyo drops for test. They're doing very well.
But at the same time, TNT are starting to lose a little bit of their damage. Now you can see like these trades aren't going as well for them. This EOS and Stratios trade, it's still going okay, but they're probably going to lose the EOS or the Stratios before the EOS goes down. And then maybe TNT are going to find themselves in a really bad position because their Gen's 30% armor and dropping as well. So
we're seeing split damage though. There's a whole set of infiltrators that are shooting the Armageddon at the same time as damage is being applied to the Stratios. I don't know why Test is shooting 2 targets at once here. These drones
they're actually shooting 3 now because this Tristan just popped.
I mean, that at least makes a bit more sense because the heretics would go after the frigs. But yes.
Yeah, I guess. Still, the Stratios and Gedden are still alive, and Tests didn't really get too much for it.
Yeah, I mean, if Test had been focusing on the one ship, they could have taken it down a lot faster. The Stratios is now dropping, as we saw a smart bomb go off in the Stratios, so they had a lot of smart bombs on this TNT team. And now the drones are going to be heading back to this Armageddon to finish it off. If they'd focused on the Stratios, they probably would have killed it long before the EOS had died and then been able to use some of that EOS damage on the Armageddon. But because of the split damage, they are losing Vexors very quickly, and the Vexors are all the DPS they have left.
Yeah, this Gedden is right now the bane of Test Alliance. He is living and just killing stuff. Like, everything's dying, and he's still somehow miraculously alive. He's got 10% armor left, so he's going to die before another Vexor dies.
Yep, but maybe. I don't know. I mean, at this point, he does have those are inactive infiltrators. I don't even know what would be applying damage to him at this point. He's in pretty good shape. There's very little damage being applied from the Test team. They've only got the 2 Vexors and then the heretics doing damage. Man, this Gedden, if they've managed to kill it, and they are going to get it, I think. He's in structure now. He's taking damage from the light missiles on the heretic, and that's probably going to be enough to kill him. But they probably would have already had him killed if they focused their fire earlier on.
So this TNT team, it's looking pretty good for them. Like, they've been making all the right trades somehow. But it's going to quickly go really, really dark for them really fast because they're only going to have 3 ships left. And Test has 2 Molluses, so each ship's going to have maybe a 10-kilometer lock range if you're lucky. So even though they'll have the DPS ready to do it, they have no means to apply it. They have to get right up in there.
Yeah, I mean, the EOS is going to be using heavy drones, so it might be able to take down that Vexor, but it'll have a very hard time killing. As I say that, though, the Heretic is getting dropped by some Vengeances, so that's going to be a Heretic off the field for Test, which, since the Heretics are a lot of the DPS for Test, that's a good move by TNT. And there goes the Armageddon.
Finally dies.
So TNT is currently winning on points. TNT is sitting at 82 points, Test at 76. Really, Test need to get kills on these Vengeances. But yeah, I don't know. Like,
the Test Vexors that one Vexor has no drones left.
He can pick up drones off the field, though, I'm sure.
Maybe that's what he's trying to do right now.
That's a Heretic dropping, though. They need to kill these Vengeances. If Test kills the 2 Vengeances, they win on points. They have 2 minutes to do so. That being said, though, without a Heretic, it's going to be really hard, and there's no way they're killing the EOS. They just don't have enough damage to knock down this EOS in 2 minutes. And so TNT may scrape by on points. All they need to do is keep the EOS and at least one of the Vengeances alive, and they win this match. Actually, even now, the Vengeances, now that they've killed the Heretic, they can lose both Vengeances. They just need to keep the EOS alive. So that's it. TNT is going to win this match with another just like pulling it out of nowhere. For the second match in a row for TNT, we look at the match going halfway through, we expect TNT to lose, and their opponents managed to throw it away, in this case by splitting up damage for no apparent reason between a Stratios and an Armageddon for a good minute.
Yeah, that was... Tests are going to be kicking themselves in the rear because of this one. They had it in the bag and then lost it and then had it again and then lost it and then had it again, and then they finally just now lost it, or at least it seems to be.
Yeah, unless this EOS jumps out of the arena. Rez in his Vexor is going down. He does have guns as well as the drones, so I mean, he does do a pretty good damage for a cruiser, but it's just not going to be enough. He's shooting at a Vengeance, and that's not going to get him the points he needs. He needs to kill the EOS to get a win this match, and he's going to structure now.
Yep. So the EOS just, it looks like he assigned drones to the Vengeances, and the Vengeances were able to apply the damage. They don't go very fast, but I guess they go faster than a Vexor, so that's all they needed. And TNT wins
Yeah.
somehow. Again.
Yeah, there's still 35 seconds left, but at this point, there is no way the Test takes this match unless that EOS ejects itself out of the arena, because that is enough points by itself to more than equal the entire Test team. Yeah, that's an impressive showing from TNT, managing to scrape it through. They're going to be up next against, though, the Ronin, which is a team that I really doubt will throw the match partway through and hand it to them.
Yep, and it's not like they're horribly throwing it away. Like they're just bad.
No,
They're just like these tiny little decision making quirks just build up, and they just built up into just trades going just barely the wrong way for poor Test.
Yeah, I definitely didn't want to equate Test with the Nest of Vipers performance from last week, because that was on a whole different level. But yeah, it just wasn't quite enough for Test here. They are going to be losing this match on points, and that is time. And so that means TNT will continue to move on to face Ronin next weekend in the winners bracket. Test will move down into elimination bracket, though they're still in it in this tournament. And we are going to be back very soon for what is probably the most anticipated match in this first half. The Camel Empire versus the 4th District, two teams that we expect to do some really fun things for us. So we'll be back after a few ads for that in just a moment.